Everybody on YouTube and social media and everything like that. I thought it was time to share my transgender experience, my story, and perhaps how to be trans and, excuse the pun, let my hair down. I'm trying to get better at talking about this sort of thing. It's quite funny that it's still a sensitive subject, even though it's now 2020. I still have a few times where, like, you know, I'm not treated like a human being, but so be no. And the first thing you're probably wondering is, why am I wearing a system made outfit in PVC? Well, there is a, as an artist, there's a message to it, and that message is that I'm like a slave. I feel like a slave and a servant to society, don't we all? And also a slave and a servant to my own mind. And that's why I can relate to wearing a maid outfit. And also, I was helping my mum a lot to clean up the house, and I kind of felt like, you know, stereotypically I was brought up as a daughter, not as a son. We're going to have to go back in time, aren't we? To when I first realised that I'm different. And it might make me feel a bit emotional because I just try to live in the present, you know. But just for my fans and for my followers and for people who want to know, I think it's time that I share this. When I was 9, I had made a mess in my undies. So my mum encouraged me to wear hers because there wasn't any spare. And there I was in the bathroom looking down at them, and I didn't think anything of them. I didn't think that's girls' clothing. I didn't think that's boys' clothing. I just thought it's completely normal. And then just making sure my bow is correct. And then fast forward to when I was 12. As I was going through my puberty, I started feeling lost and confused about things. Let's bear in mind that I've got Asperger's as well, which seems to be quite common in the transgender community, which is on the autistic spectrum. And so there I was cleaning up the BMXs that my brother and I had to sell them, and in the box full of polishing cloths and stuff like that, I saw my mum's underwear, right, which I thought was kind of a bit weird. And then, you know, just playing, like, I put them on top of my brother like this, and I didn't get them to wear it. But it was just as a joke. And then that kind of triggered something in my mind, and then I decided to wear them that night. And that was the first time I tried masturbating. And but the thing was is that, like, I stuffed it full of socks at the back, so I made my bum look bigger and everything like that. And I didn't imagine myself that I'm a woman or a girl. I imagined myself that I'm a cow, I'm a sheep, I'm a goat, or something like that. Looking back at it, it's really funny. And you know, like how with boys they go like that. well, I did the same as what women do, like that, to come, and so that was probably the first sign of me, like subconsciously knowing that I'm not male, and especially inside. Unfortunately, I'm still male biologically, and I confess that I'll always be biologically male. There's something, you can't do anything about that. And then that went on to wearing more of a lingerie and stuff like that. And my mum would catch me out, my brother and my stepdad and stuff like that. And I would try like any moment to put on my mum's clothing, especially when they're out, and sometimes I'd wear underwear and stuff underneath, right, and then return it at a discreet moment when no one else is around. And yeah, so she used to catch me out a few times, and no one in my family, not even me, didn't know anything about the term transgender. I only knew about the word gay and homosexual. And also at the age of 12, I met my only friend at secondary school, and it was very difficult to settle down there. And I met this disabled guy called James Dashwood, and went round to his place once, and his brother and my brother were watching Dumbo, and he suddenly says to me, like, I want you to undress me, and that led on to us doing a raffle tumble under his sheets. And that's another way that I learnt the term gay and homosexual, and I didn't think anything of it, but my mum did. My stepdad and my brother weren't so really concerned about it, and but my mum seemed to be quite upset about it, And then the day afterwards, that person who I thought was a friend, he told the whole school that I'm a faggot, and I put on this front, like I tried to be homophobic and against gay people and everything like that. But I never hurt a gay person physically. I never voiced my opinion about it. Just kept it inside, and like tried to be like all the other male friends, like, yeah, gotta get a girlfriend, gotta have sex with a girl, and everything like that. Stop me if you've heard the story before. That's another reason why I don't want to share this, why I didn't want to share it, because you've probably heard it before. But then when I was 16, after suppressing all of that, I discovered masturbation again, and I tried to imagine myself with a woman, and it wasn't working for me. And then when suddenly it clicked, I decided to think, oh, what would happen if I think about being with a guy? And then it worked. I ejaculated. So that told me a lot of things. So to cut a long story short, when I was 18, that is when I went off to university. My father had just died as well, and I took one of my mum's dresses with me as well, and also that was the time when I stopped wanting to, I just ignored the whole feeling of being horny and wanting to I want to undo one. So that led on to me buying my own clothes, learning how to do my own makeup, which I'm very proud of. And then I went back home and I told my mum that I want to have the change and I want to have the operation, but I didn't know. That that there are other people like me, and I felt so alone. I didn't know about the term transgender until I was 24. And then you know, I even tried to come out to my Swedish relatives as gay, but I still realised that, like, well, obviously when I was 24, I realised that I'm not gay, I am trans. And then, so to make things worse for me, I met a Thai lady when I was 25. Because I tried to go back into the closet again, and I didn't want my mum to know about my feelings getting stronger and stronger about wanting to come out as female. So there I was. Yes, I did actually love my ex-wife, and I did teaching English in Thailand for a while, and I picked up my Thai language skills again, reading, writing, speaking, listening, thanks to the students and surrounding myself with Thai friends and her Thai friends and relatives and stuff, and wanting to speak to my grandmother and Thai relatives before she passed away, bless her. And then when I was 31, I'm 40 now, I you know, like my ex-wife already knew about my trans side, and she even said to me when we first met in 2005, either you be a boy and then we can be boyfriend and girlfriend and get married, or you be a girl and we just be friends. So I thought about my mum at that time, because she had had 2 cancer operations for her breasts. Unfortunately, she's still got 2 breasts intact. But I just felt that, like, because of my transness and giving her stress, it was killing her. I didn't want to kill my mum. Right? That must be the empath side of me. So then I left my ex-wife at the age of 31, and I told my mum everything. And yes, it was difficult to come out to her and to my Thai relatives, but it was worth it. And to cut a long story short, moved back to England. My teaching visa had finished anyway, and so there I was back in England, and it took me 1.5 years to recover from not living in Thailand anymore, and I still get homesick sometimes, you know, homesick, and I can say that because I'm half Thai. And then after 3 years of being accepted by my neutral family, things just got better since then, and I found busking as a good way of therapy, music therapy. I've also got my Buddhist background as well to help me out in my spiritual beliefs. Um, and I think that's pretty much it. I did self-medicate recently as well. I also had my genital reconstruction surgery, is what I like to call it, in 2015. And in 2016, when my ex-wife and I managed to get divorced finally, I could become legally female. And on that note, I'd just like to say that there is no right or wrong way to be a trans girl, in my opinion. As long as you do as what makes you happy, don't think too much about what other people might think. I know that I'm in a different situation compared to you because I live rent free because of my mental health problems and my Asperger's, which I don't like to admit at times. And there are times where, like, you know, like, I know that I don't pass as genetic female, and why would I want to pass as genetic female? I just want to pass as me, and that's taken me so many years to figure out, you know. And it's such a release when you realise that the only person you should be passing as is yourself, because as Oscar Wilde said, everybody's taken, so you might as well be yourself. Thank you everyone. Thank you very much, everybody, for listening to this story. And if you have any questions, just please comment below. Thank you very much. Peace and go vegan.